And we're on. And we're on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now maybe probably better just to turn around. You think?
Mm-hmm. To
Yeah.
that way? Okay.
So okay. Can you can you hear me?
Yes.
Can I hear me? So talk to me a little bit about what you experienced today while you were playing your guitar in the middle of New York and the cacophony of life and the what was that like for you? I mean, it was
Well, playing in New York always is an experience, and if you play in the streets, is again other experience inside that experience. I think it's very interesting when you are just not thinking about playing, just playing and interacting with the sounds, with the ambience, sometimes with the people, sometimes with the sounds of the life, the klaxons, the sirens, the cars. So all of that create like a background, and if you listen and you are open to listen the textures, the sounds, the colors, uh, you can interact with that. Uh, Sometimes making music at the moment like a kind of improvisation, and other times playing something that you play used to play. So I decided to do the two things at the same time. I was playing in pure improvisations, and then I played some small fragments of my music, and I tried all the time to be present in the space and present with the guitar and listening the sensations and the emotions that it's coming to me and then just playing, and I don't know, I think it's a nice experience for me at least, and I hope like music is a good experience too for the audience.
when you were hearing all of these sounds, and we were thinking about the sketches of New York.
Well, I don't know how to qualify that, no, how to entitle that. For me, music in general is making the expression, trying the give the expression in the moment, and try to feel the present, uh, and give that through the music. So in some level, it's like a picture of the moment. But I don't know how to entitle that. I don't like to give titles to everything.
Why is that? Why don't you like to give titles to things?
Oh, because I think it's not only the experience that you are playing in the moment, it's the experience that the people who is listening after that, uh, what is different. So I can give a title for something, and I am conducting the people to a way or to a path, no? And telling some signals that perhaps it's better if just listen the music and watch the video and that's it, and feel whatever. So if you entitle with something that is related with the music, you are telling the people some things that you don't need or they don't need to know before.
Ah, so you like the sense of mystery.
You can tell mystery, but for me it's just the unexpected uh, moments that is necessary in music. If you don't have that sensation of something um, unexpected, everything will be previsible. No, you know what happened or what will happen. If they say a schedule of New York, you're seeing New York. You are you have memories of New York, or you don't have memories of New York. So what happened is just watch the video and feel the music, and so what happened.
And so, what is your relationship to music?
Well, love and hate. Well, music for me is an expression of life. Uh, it's the mode of I can communicate with the people, with the world, and tell them how I feel the world, how I feel the life. And in some level, I try to connect with myself and try to connect with the universe or whatever that you want to say. But something elevated. And with all of that, I just want to share and give my that music to provoke other emotions and feelings. Um, I don't understand the music like a work. I don't understand the music like a business. Business is part of our work, of our job, but make music, especially uh, composing music and playing music, needs to be uh, needs to have something beyond job than the business. So for me, it's a mode of life. It's a mode of communication. It's a mode of uh, to tell the people who I am and who I feel the world. And in some level, I think music is art in general, and music in particular is for that. Is there to to make us think about ourselves and what we are doing here, and provoke feelings and emotions in a good way.
And when you're playing, what's that like for you? What is the experience of being you playing by yourself and for an audience?
Well, playing every day is different. Every time, every moment, every second is different. You can't, or you shouldn't uh, uh, ¿cómo se dice? Predecir. You should not to try to think about that before. In my opinion, when you play music, every time is a different moment. It's a you that day. One day you are asleep very well. The other day you are asleep very bad. One day you are angry. The other day you are happy. So depends the day, the temperature, the the audience. Everything is different. So the best thing I think musicians should do is being in the present moment, being there. Uh, you have to release and flow with the moment. Your technique and your knowledge is there to support you, and you know what you have to do. But the rest is just flow with the moment, and every day will be different. So when you are playing alone, sometimes you play just for you or for your cat or your dog, or and when you're playing with the audience in front of you, provoke some different sensations. But I think the best that you can do is just be present. When you are really present, and the music flows in other way, and I think it's more when you feel that and you can feel that sensation of being over the music is like a drug. You can't stop. It's and you can being all your life looking for that because it's a moment of ecstasy. And in my opinion, that is the goal for the musician. Get that moment where you are not thinking. All your knowledge is supporting you, or the technique is there to support you, and you are just playing for the people with the maximum love that you can do.
Do you ever get surprised?
About that,
Surprised by what comes out?
well, you always can be surprised for many things, for many levels. Uh, I have an anecdote. One day I had to play in a place where the cold was extremely hard. We are perhaps 5 under zero, and I was playing in a open space outside in the Red Boots. I remember that in 2003. I had to play was one solo, and when I was sitting on the stage, I thought my hands can't do anything. I can't move my hands, my fingers. I can't play. So for 3 4 seconds, I was like a freeze out, and I tried to just breathe. And then I started to play, and I think was one of the best sensations I have feeling playing, because I think in I had to forget the weather and the situation to play, and to give that people that was expecting that I play something, give them the music that they was expecting. They were expecting. So what I did just flow in the moment, breathe, and play. And it was a very nice venue. It was a very nice experience, and I felt very full of love, and not only the love I could give, the love that the people were giving to me too. So you can be surprised for many things. It's not never is the same. So always can be a surprise. So you can be you need to be open to receive whatever happened on the stage.
You mentioned about uh, your first guitar when you first had it in your hands. What was that like when you were? How old were you?
Well, the first guitar I don't remember because I was 4 months old or something like that. But I remember all my childhood, no? With that guitar around me and other two guitars. I mean, my father played a little bit some songs, and I played that guitars, and for me it was like a kind of toy, and my communication with the guitar was very natural. From the first time I got the guitar, I took agarré, como se dice en español. I take the guitar like a guitarist. I didn't play like whatever. I take it like this. I took like this. So I don't know. People say many things. Yeah, you are this destino. The you had to play because universe were prepared for that. Whatever. The thing is, I took that guitar and I couldn't let the guitar in all my life.
And look at you now. Is it much different?
Well, you know, I feel like a child many times when I'm playing. Uh, why? Because I don't I can't consider the playing guitar like a work, even when I have a responsibility playing. But in the level of composition of or the level of uh, having the compensation when I'm playing, the sensation of feeling good, feel happy with the guitar. I feel like a child, and I don't want that child goes. I need that child all the time because I need to be curious. I need to be uh, innocent when I am looking for the inspiration. You can say that. Um I can be very dark too, but always with that innocence of the child that is looking for things. And when you feel like that, you don't feel like a weight being playing. Even when you are tired because the trips, the planes, the cars, the many hours rehearsing, all of that goes in the second place, and you are enjoying the moment because you are playing.
And flamenco tends to be dark music, very soulful music, very to the core of people, especially the singers.
Hmm.
What's that like for you to play in that with
Well,
that?
flamenco in general have a lot of expressions and very, very, very live expression. Is a mix of darkness and and soul feelings. But you have to know is in Andalusia, the suffering is close to the happiness. When you say somebody that you love very much, that person, you say, me duele quererte. It's that my love for you is a painful for me because it's a mix. There is a moment when we mix the painful with the happiness. Is common in our culture. So in flamenco, that happened too. Happened because Andalusia was a territory where we were conquistados. Fuimos conquistados. Always was conquered. We had Romans, Celtics, Phoenicians. Everybody wants the things in Andalusia. And for that, the people there is very, uh, the painful is very assimilated in the society, like part of the life. Life and death are together. And, and that allows to flamenco to be we have a very open uh, registers of feelings. So sometimes we can be happy in a party, like a party, and at the same time you feel that like a intense. Or we can be very sad, or we can be very not is the thing that is goes more than sad. For example, the seguidilla, which is it's a style in flamenco which is very dry, raw. Uh, but we have a lot of feelings. The darkness is, I think, the people connect the darkness because the the mode that we use the silence and the melodies are very close in that level. The painful and the happiness are they cross, yeah, and they hug. So it's very interesting how people react to flamenco, and I'm very impressed sometimes because some people who watch flamenco for the first time, listen flamenco for the first time, in 2 seconds is in love for the rest of their life, which is uncommon. And when that happens, it's like, wow, many people in the world is in love of flamenco, and they left everything to try to understand more about flamenco just because they listen flamenco 2 times, uh, which could be ridiculous, but at the same time is the la grandeza, the grateful of flamenco.
You don't consider yourself a flamenco guitarist solely, do you?
Well, I think even if I play salsa, I will sound like flamenco. I think flamenco is not a mode of playing, it's a mode of life, or it's a mode of understand the whole thing, the music, the arts, the life, and everything. For us, we grow up with flamenco at the same time that we are growing up in the life. So, yes, I am a flamenco guitarist, but at the same time I am a curious human being. So I try to look for sounds, textures. I experiment with things, with dancers, with other discipline dancers, uh, even film or plastic artist. I try to get all of that, bring all of that.
Sorry.
No llaman, no llaman.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
I'm recording. Talk to me. Yeah. Okay. Come downstairs to the musician room. Okay. Okay. Bye. Sorry.
So I try to bring all of that to my music. So for some flamenco people, I can look like not a really flamenco guitarist. At the same time, I have played for dance, I have played solo, and have played for singer, which is not very common in flamenco. And I need to play in all disciplines in flamenco at least 2 or 3 times in a year. I need to play for singers. I need to play in a party because that give me vitamins. So if I consider myself like a flamenco guitarist, I consider myself like a flamenco human being than play guitar, if you want to say like that. But yes, flamenco is like my base, my root, my sound. my mode of using the silence, the rhythm, but at the same time, I try to learn and to bring all of other cultures that can give me something that I can use and I can mix with the music that I do.
You want some water?
Yeah.
But you're tethered.
One moment.
You mentioned silence. What is your relationship to silence?
Well, silence is the space between notes. uh, Listening the silence is very important. You can, when you are a musician, you understand that the silence have the same importance, the same meaning than the notes. You have to learn to look the silence, to look for the silence, and understand when is the moment of the next note. And sometimes it's very difficult because silence on a stage is like a unexpected and mystery and nervous moment. So you need to know how to use them, and don't be scared about them. Silence are very important for music. Very, very, very important.
Talk to me
Sorry.
a little bit about your creative process. What is that like for you?
Well, when I afford the creativity or the composition, that depends. When I'm alone, I just try to play for hours, and then something comes, some 2 notes, 3 notes, one phrase. It could be there for months, sometimes, or sometimes flow and I continue. I try to select the ideas at the beginning and play with the ideas, and then let we say tirar del hilito, del hilo. It's like doing like this, no? Little step by step. In some level, I ask to my guitar or to myself, no? And I try to just to flow. It's very important the sensation that the things goes. No, you don't have to force. When I'm alone, other times I just try to get an idea and see what is the first thing I play. And then after that, I take I record some takes, and then I start to work with them. When I have to play for other people, for dancers, depends if we have a theatrical thing or is just repertory. Perdón.
Take your time.
I'll do. Okay.
You want to take a break a little bit?
No. No, it's just the beginning. Well, when I play for dancers, for companies or for one dancer, that depends if it's more theatrical, when you have an argument or you have images or It's about history, stories. Pardon. Uh, when it's about stories, it's easier because you have something where you can support the music. Other times you have to just make repertory. I don't like to be the typical guitarrista de oficio, which is just the guitarist that accompany. I try to apply my concertist or my composer mind to that. So I try to be coherent and try to make the music has to be very balanced and have something in common during every uh, during each dance. When you have a repertory this the thing you play for soleá, which is style, or seguirilla or whatever. Each one should have a story, like something like that. No? Other times, other times I inspire by images, which is nice. I have done that a couple of times because your imagination transforms the images and stories, and the process is always more or less the same. I give some music, I receive some feedback and first ideas of dance. Then I will retouch. They will bring more ideas, and then we prepare the choreography, which is very nice because you can have a conversation all the time during the process. When I compose for poetry, uh, I used to read. I used to read many times the the text, and and then I try to start to sing when I'm reading, which is an exercise, and then the music comes, and you can feel the music when you are doing the syllables and trying to sing at the same time you're reading. It's very special. Yeah, I like a lot to do that. And what else? When I have to compose for a big show, I try to have a whole concept. All the music has to all the music needs to have uh, like a like a sound. So I'm worried about the band, about the whole sound of the piece, because everything has to be show. You are not thinking only in each piece or the story is plus. It's a plus. The whole thing.
Come in.
No, no, aquí. Oh,
Uh-huh.
you got it.
How are you?
Good, good.
So what else? What else?
Sit down. So you would like to experiment, don't you?
Yeah, I like.
What's
You know.
that like?
You know, I like to, like I said, I like to bring textures and sounds and what else, and colors to my music. So I have experiment with super experimental musicians and I have mixed that knowledge with dance and some film. I love that because it makes me not playing. It's like a deconstruct my music, which is an exercise that is very painful because sometimes you feel like your music is disappeared. It's nothing. Now it's other thing. But at the same time, it uh, helped helped me a lot to re-understand my music and how to push my comfort uh, space and how to create a new sound from something that I had, but now it's other thing. Uh, I love to use some electronic sounds. Sometimes I do, and even I use it sometimes that in my in my music, in my live music, because I think that brings sensations to the score. It's sometimes for transitions or sometimes in the music that electronic sounds can bring many small sensations, and sometimes it's like a underground sound. It's like a create the atmosphere to play whatever I'm playing with the guitar.
Do you find yourself getting less and less excited, or are you still excited about playing?
Oh, I'm a child playing, so always I'm excited when I have to play. Every every concert is different. Every show is different. The artists are different. Uh, Independently, if I have to accompany or I have to play by myself, I think the that possibility of of uh, of change, everything can change in 1 second. Uh, that makes me feel alive. So I can't stop. I can't stop that.
Now, you grew up in Morocco,
Yeah, I had 4 years there.
and listen, growing up with with that music,
Well, what happened to me is when I was a child, I was 2 years old. When I was playing, and the and the and they start to sing for the pride, I stopped everything. All people at home was impressed that whatever I stopped with, whatever I was doing, even eating or sleeping, wake up and start to listen to that music. And so I had a kind of connection with the uh, Arabian music, especially with the classical Arabian music. And I have played with some. I played with the Michigan, the National Arab Orchestra from Michigan. I have played with some Arabian musicians like Jamal Wasim, Nureddin, which is a singer. I have played with them, and I really enjoy, not only because the connection, because it's something that is other level. It's not the connection, musical connection. It's more than that, and especially when that music is coming from the Sufi. Eh, ¿Cómo se llama? Sufi. ¿Cómo se dice eso? De la
Sufi
rama,
music.
sí, the Sufi part, no? Because I'm very connected with that level of connection of the light and the music and giving that light to the world. Uh, I'm very spiritual in that level, so Sufi connect a lot with me. So when I play something that is part of the Sufi music, I love it. I love it, enjoy a lot.
But Sufi music is very patterns. A lot of
Well, in many levels, in flamenco, you use patterns to especially rhythm patterns. The only thing is we use many of them out of context. Part of the flamenco music is coming from very old things, and many of them are part of the life in the 12th, 13th, and 14th century, which was the Arabian and Jewish times where the Kabbalah and the astronomy, metaphysics, mathematics, and music were part of the science. So many of that things now are played out of context, but we can connect that in some level. Always we can. There is something that pluff goes, and in other level, I had a Sufi master in Swiss, and he helped me a lot to re-understand the mode of composition, the approach to the composition, using more the connecting with the spiritual part, which is part of my music too.
now you also had another mentor who I met.
Yeah, my mentor in the 80s was Mario Escudero, who lived in New York for a lot of years, almost 40 years. He he gave to me the legacy of the old style flamenco guitar. He was one of the fathers of the solo the concertist figure of the concertist in the flamenco. So it was Ramon Montoya, Sabicas, Niño Ricardo, Mario Escudero,